My dear brother and sisters, book name is Adventures in Tibet, including the diary of Miss Annie Ray Taylor's remarkable journey. Adventures in Tibet, including the diary of Miss Annie R. Taylor's remarkable journey from Tau Chau to Ta Chin Lu through the heart of the forbidden land. So this book is very good book. In 18th century, she traveled in Tibet. That who are lamas are presented. Lamas are living in Tibet. So she is the first lady from missionary. Her entered in Tibet. So this is the preface. July 1899, being ordered north by the doctors, I spent a month in Sikkim, that wedge between the three closed lands, Nepal, Bhutan, and Tibet. This gave me the opportunity of crossing the Jelepala into Tibet and visiting Miss Taylor at her shop in Yatung. The moment this trip was undertaken, I wanted to know 100 things of which I was ignorant about the country and the missions besetting its borders. The subject grew within with the inquiry, and I felt keenly the end of a bright, readable book, which should give a picture of the land as a whole and photograph the present position of investing forces. Material for such a work began to come in, and with it a great find the original diary of Miss Taylor's astonishing journey in 1892 to 1893. To publish this as part of the first scheme would have been to, it is only right to say that I had not them seen the great closed land by Miss Marston. The present volume is cast in a different mold. Spoil the symmetry of whole. Not to publish it would have been to omit something of the very essence of the story, for the journey stands apart as one of the great deeds of the time, and it has had a unique influence over the expansion of Christian effort on behalf of Tibet. Moreover, it is complete in itself and can never grow stale. It seemed best, therefore, to print first the diary along with the general account of country and its people, and this is the volume now placed in the reader's hands. It will be followed, I hope, by other on the border missions if is sufficiency of interesting details and illustrative drawings and photographs can be had to encourage the attempt. So this is the content. So part 1, which chalks in the outline the so this is the part 1, part 2, this is the contents. Okay. Chinese city gate, Tibetan valley, Tibetan nomads on the change, Tibetan guides. So authorities consulted. My thanks are due to principal of Serampore College, the principal and librarian of the Dhaka College, Rai Stewart Chandradas Bahadur of Darjeeling, Lyot College H. Bower of Wei Hoi Wei, Miss Stirling of Scotland, Peter Lindman of Darjeeling, and Miss Taylor of Yatung for the loan of valuable books, with, without which this volume could not have been prepared. The chief authorities consulted are given below. Narratives of the mission of George Bogle to Tibet and of the journey of Thomas Manning to Lhasa by Clements R. Markham, CBFRS, Travels in Tartary, Tibet and China by M. Hook, translated from French by Hazlitt Diary of a Journey Across Tibet by Captain Hamilton Bower, Diary of Journey Through Mongolia and Tibet by William Woodville Rockhill, The Buddhism of Tibet and Among the Himalayas by Mudge, L.A. Waddell, M.B., The Great Closed Land by Annie Marston. These all are the, I think, books. Adventures in Tibet, Chapter 1, which chalks in the outline. This is a book for anybody to read. It is travel and adventure. Who will not rise to that? And it is travel and adventure in the hardest of all lands left to explore. Moreover, there are no technical details. It is not the record of any learned expedition. Moreover, there are no technical details. It is not the record of any learned expedition. It is simply the diary of plucky and resourceful woman who published her way practically alone through the heart of Tibet and put down all that happened to her as she went along. The feat was remarkable and astonishing. Without a companion and without equipment, this unsophisticated pilgrim crept into the secret places of the great closed land. Her audacity makes one hold one's breath. What chance has a mouse in cage full of cats? Others had been before the before her, but not women. Women have been since, but not alone. There is nothing to equal it in the whole fascinating story of Tibetan travel. There is nothing to equal it in the whole fascinating story of Tibetan travel. Yet, how quaintly pathetic in its simplicity, and how richly amusing in its unpreparedness. Starting from the north of China near the Great Wall, Miss Taylor entered Tibet, penetrated almost to Lhasa, and returned by another route. She, she was 7 months and 10 days in, in the Forbidden Land. Her only arms were a pistol, and her only instruments a telescope and a watch. The pistol had been packed in the baggage and never saw the light. The telescope was stolen, and it does not appear that she ever had occasion to use it. It was probably intended as a spyglass for robbers, but those gentry swarmed about her so close and so often that looking for them at long range would have been a mere ridiculous superfluity. The watch she tried unceasingly to barter for something more useful, such as tent or a tat. Without aneroid, thermometer, or theodolite, she toiled over unmapped mountains and jogged through unvisited valleys, provokingly oblivious of the claims of science, and constrained only when something went wrong with the cooking to notice the boiling point. The absence of scientific research does not, however, detract from the human interest of Miss Taylor's story. She kept a diary for the whole period of her adventurous journey from the day when at, at dawn she stole out of Tau Chow and across the border to that other day when she emerged at Tachinlu, having cast her line in a long loop over the rugged interior. This diary is now published for the first time 8 years after the event. The original lies on my desk. It is a small black notebook, stained and smudged, but closely penciled on every page. Night after night, at the end of each comfortless march, and as well as numbed fingers would let her see jotted down the main features of the day. Only those who have faced the cold and fatigue of such travel without intending to write a book or record the results of scientific observation can really appreciate the significance of this persistence. Not till the diary had been written would the tired traveler burrow into her sleeping bag under tent or cave. When at last the tent had been taken and no cave could be found, she settled herself to sleep on the snow. What a comical little bundle it must have been for the merry stars to wink at. The, the steady cheerfulness she exhibited under all circumstances was simply heroic. These blurred pages, what a tale they tell. There is some mention of privations and perils, but how much more that is not mentioned can yet plainly be read in the quivering of the lines and the frequent sunny expressions of hope and trust. So, few travelers have penetrated Tibet or come back to tell the tale that their most commonplace experiences are invested with a peculiar interest. The Tibet of Miss Taylor's journey has already gone round the world and excited the ad- admiration of such as know how to estimate intrepid, daring, and patient, unconquerable courage. To the Christian heart, it has spoken in another tone and with thrilling persuasiveness. For, for there was more in it than mere pluck and per- perseverance. There was a lofty motive. Mere daring and love of adventure would never have indu- induced This frail woman to hazard her life in such an enterprise, or have carried her so successfully through. It was all that plus an unworldly ideal, a light shining along the path of fire burning in the bones. It was heroism, but it was also the heroism of faith. The light was the light of the dark land of Galilee, and the fire a flame from the passionate heart of Paul.